morning, students. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now we met again in a new topic called writing an essay. After we learned about on how to write a paragraph, now we're learning on how to write an essay. Okay, so you're still with me with my Unita from Language and Arts Department, Universitas Bengkulu. This topic is prepared for the academic writing class. Let's go to the body paragraph. Now, the body paragraph is an essay. The body paragraph is an essay, or like the supporting sentence in a paragraph. They are the place to develop your topic and prove your point. See, the body paragraph should be organized according to some sort of patterns, such as chronological order or comparison and contrast, and other type of essay. And sometimes, depending on your topic, you will need to use a combination of patterns. So basically, the body paragraph are like the supporting sentence in a paragraph. The body paragraph. Now, the basic pattern for essay is logical division of idea. So most of essay are in this type of logical division of idea. In this pattern, you divide your topic into subtopic and then discuss each subtopic in a separate paragraph. So logical division is an appropriate pattern for explaining causes, reason, types, kind, qualities, method, advantages, and disadvantages, as this typical college exam question asks you to do. Usually, you will be asked to make an essay, and probably you will go to the logical division of ideas type of essay. Now, this is the example of the body paragraph taken from the book that I have shared with you, Osima and Ho, 2007, page 68. See, the body paragraph 1. First of all, Native American left a permanent mark on the English language. So, this is the topic sentence for this paragraph. And the rest, the explanation about this topic sentence. And so does the second one. But the paragraph 2, although the vocabulary of English is the area that showed the most Native American influence, it is not the only areas of U.S. culture that has been shaped by contact with Native American. Nah, apa itu? What is it? The other one, an art. Okay, then this will talk about this body paragraph will talk about this influence. Now let's go to body paragraph 3. In body paragraph 3, mention that in addition to language and art, the first one is about language and the second one about the art. In addition to language and art, agriculture is another area in which Native American had a great and lasting influence on the peoples who arrived here from Europe, Africa, and Asia. So, body paragraph 3 will talk about this in a longer one until here. It has supporting details like, for example, corn and chocolate were unknown in Europe. Now they are staples in U.S. diet. So this paragraph, body paragraph, talk about the agriculture area, which is we got the influence from the movement of the Americans, American Native American culture. Not the movement, but the Native American culture. The last paragraph, body paragraph, finally, so you can use the word finally. It may surprise some people to learn that citizens of the U.S. are also indebted to the native people for our form of government. So this paragraph will talk about how this um, influence, I mean, of the people, the Native American peoples to the U.S. Culture, right? And until the end, the Native American models here. So, as a result, the present form of government of the United States can be traced directly back to a Native American model. Okay, this is taken from Oshima and Hope, page 2000, page 68 to 69. Now the conclusion. After you got the introduction, the body, then you go to the conclusion. The conclusion is the final paragraph in an essay, and the conclusion has three purposes. First, it signals the end of the essay. So it says that to do so, begin your conclusion with a transition signal or transition signal. You can see this in Appendix C, page 297 to 1999. This transition signal is important for you, then you can learn it, which to use for which for any for a type of essay. Now the second purpose is it reminds your reader of your main point, which you can do in one or two ways. First, you can summarize your subtopics, or you can paraphrase your thesis, mean that your thesis statement, yeah, not your thesis, undergraduate thesis. Now, the last one, it leaves your reader with your final thoughts on the topic. So, this is your opportunity to convey a strong, effective message that your reader will remember. So the conclusion will not be long, but it's a signal at the end of the essay to remind your reader of your main points and leaves your reader with your final thought on the topic. This is the example, the conclusion example. In conclusion, you can use the in conclusion, for example. Most of the time people will use in conclusion, but you can also use thus and or finally or in summary, for example. It's depends which transition signal you like, but the most common used one is in conclusion. In here it states that in conclusion we can easily see from these few examples the extent of Native American influence on our language, our art forms, our eating habits, and our government. The people of the United States are deeply indebted to Native American for the contribution to U.S. culture. You know what? After the introductory, the body, the conclusion, you should remember that your essay should have the unity and coherence. To have this unity and coherence, an essay should have transition signal and the repetition of key noun link the paragraph into a cohesive whole. Okay, this is some example of signal words or transition words. For examples, if you give examples, for example, in supporting details, you can use for examples, for instance, to illustrate. Meanwhile, for organization or chronological order, you can say the 6 steps are blah 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 blah. Next, finally, first, second, third. Or you can say first, second, third. If you use secondly, so use firstly, secondly, thirdly. It should be similar. And then for additional point, you can say furthermore, in addition, also, or moreover. The most popular one usually in addition, but do not use the same additional point, you should make it vary. And then for opposing ideas, on the other hand, in contrast, although and however, if you want to mention new opposing idea. And then for similar idea, you can say likewise, similarly, in comparison. So this is the transition word that you can use. Another one is for exception. You can say however, nevertheless, but, yet, and still. And for emphasis, above all, finally, more importantly, if we want to emphasis on some sentence or some points here in your essay. For understanding, in other words, in essence, briefly. And then for summarizing, you can see, you can use in conclusion, to sum up, for this reason, in a nutshell. So you can use this type of words, this transition word, for your summarize, for your conclusion. Do not always use in conclusion, or in conclusion. You can use thus, you can use to sum up, and in a nutshell. For exams, you can say, remember this is important, this could be on the test. For exam, if you have the exam later on. This is the transition signals for logical division of ideas taken from the book Oshima and Holt, page 78. You see that the transition words and phrases here are similar to what I have mentioned before, but this for the logical division of ideas, you can use first of all, second, third, and etc. And then next, last, finally. Also, in addition, moreover, furthermore. First, in addition, finally. And for coordinators, you can use and, but, blah blah blah, and not only but also. This one is the pair that cannot be separated. Both an increase in the supply of paper money and blah 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 can cause inflationary tendencies. To lose weight, one must not only exercise regularly but also eat wisely. This is the example on how to use it. And the other one, you can use the first cause, reason, factors, etc. And then the or a second problem, result, advantages, until in addition to much and science, blah blah blah. You can use this. For example, a second cause in an increase in the supply of paper, blah blah blah. Then you can continue that. Then regular exercise is one way to get fit and lose weight. And then in addition to government spending unrestrained consumer borrowing can cause inflationary tendencies. So this is some transition signal that you can use in your essay. The rest you can check it on the book, page 297 to 299 of the Oshima and Holt books in the 4th edition, published in 2007. See, that's it. So that's some lesson, some points from on how to write an essay for your ability in writing or in writing academic English. I hope you find it useful, and see you again in the next topic on academic writing. Thank you. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.